It's Tuesday stitch time. Grab your hook and yarn. We're making something cozy, cute and warm. New stitch, new trick, let's learn today. Easy steps, I'll guide the way. Whether you're new or stitching pro, come along, let's hook and go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pseudo's Crochet More. This is your host Crystal. Today is Tuesday, so it's stitch tutorial time. Now, I used to do the sample and it looks kind of funky, and I'm sorry that it looks funky, but I was going into the last stitch and then I couldn't figure out, because of the way this yarn works, some of the spots were kind of dark. I was working in the light, but didn't work out very much for me. This is the double crochet herringbone stitch. Now, as the pattern works up, you can see the pattern a little bit more if I get it closer for you. I did use, and I like this, I just have to get my edges straighter, obviously, straighter. And I did like it because you have your colors stacked on top of each other for a little while here. It looks really cool. This is the Premier Basic Multi DK, Premier Basic DK Multi. Yeah, say that 10 times fast. This is a lightweight number 3. It is 264 yards or 242 meters, 2.99 ounces. Or 85 grams, and it's 100% acrylic. Now, it does have the Oeko-Tex stamp on it, which means it's been tested and approved against 350 plus harmful substances. And this one is in the color of Icy Path. Now, as I've mentioned in my other tutorials, each week that I do a tutorial, you will see these worked up until I have worked them all up in different stitches to show you what they would look like if you use this yarn for this specific stitch. This is a very easy pattern. I'm going to call it intermediate because you do have to take a couple extra steps for the stitch. It's not your traditional double crochet because you're making it look like bone up here, the herringbone stitch. Okay, so I'm going to be using Crafter Secret cotton because I was going to do a different stitch, but that stitch, it would have been great to have that stitch if it was the beginning of COVID, early days of COVID, because it turned out to look like a mask instead of what I wanted it to. So I redid it into this, using the hair. I changed my plans and went to the herringbone stitch. This was a color that was clearanced out quite a few years ago for 57 cents. I'm going to use a 5.5 millimeter hook. This does recommend a 5 millimeter hook, which I don't think I have any close by. Let me check this other one here. This might be my 5. Ah, okay. I will use the 5. I found my 5. Okay, so I have a 5 millimeter. Now, these ones right now are my go-to hooks. I really love them. I just don't like that this is kind of peeling down here, but hey, it's still a really good hook. If you are wanting to learn this stitch, grab whatever yarn you want to use. You don't have to use cotton. You can use whatever. You can use the recommended hook size or whatever hook you like to use with that type of yarn. And watch, it's going to be a barf. Ah, of course, yarn barf. I always like pulling from the center, even if it does become a pain. As you guys are watching this, it is my husband's birthday today, the big 4-8. I just had the big 4-9 on my birthday, because we're, not quite, we're about a year and a half apart. A year and 7 months. I was a year and 7 months old when he had his birthday. When he was born. I'm going to pull this so I don't have to struggle with it while I'm crocheting. But if you're ready to start and you've got your yarn attached to your hook, chain up any number of stitches, and then add 2 more. So I'm going to do 25. I'm going to do 22 and then add, well, I'm going to do 23 and then add 2, I should say. So I'm going to chain up 25. This is a 1-row repeat. So it's not, nothing you really have to remember differently for the next row, since it is a 1-row repeat. And I'm still unwinding this yarn, this cotton here. I was going to use a blue, because I have some blue that was also on clearance at the same time I got these. But I thought it would be too dark for this tutorial, so I grabbed this tan color. And it's actually called Weathered Sand. Weathered Sand. So this is a reversible stitch, so you do not have, there's no wrong or right side. Whichever you like to have as the right side if you're going to put a border on it. But there is no wrong or right side to this pattern. Alright, now, like I said, I'm going to chain up 25. Let me get this out of the way here. Got some that fell down here. There we go. Alright, that over there. Now, everybody does their attaching their yarn differently, however you like to attach it, but I like to take my tail, put it underneath my working yarn. There's a hole here, makes it look like a fish. Then I go and grab the working yarn, pull through, and tighten it. Some people like to do the double knot. I know that's what Creative Grandma's way of doing it is, but however you like to attach it. Now I'm going to chain up 25. 1, 2. All right, I have my 25, and I know I was quiet during that time. I have my 25 chains. Now, this is just the start. This is not the repeat row. Row 2 will be the repeat row. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to skip the first 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. And into the 4th chain, after you've yarned over, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, and stop right there. Do not yarn over again. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to take that loop you just pulled through and pull it through that first loop on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop on the hook. You'll have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over 1 more time and pull through both loops. Now that chain 3 that we skipped does count as a double crochet. So if you're not used to locating your top of your turning chain, go ahead and mark that with the stitch marker. If you do know how to find it, that's great. You can just leave it as it is like I'm going to. Alright, and then we're going to do that again. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch. You don't have to grab both loops. I'm just trying to pull up a loop. Do not yarn over. You can hold this one so it doesn't fall off of there. We're going to go through that first loop. Yarn over. Go through 1 loop only. You'll still have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through both loops. And that's the repeat all the way down to the last chain on here. So, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain. If you want to grab both loops, you don't have to. 3 loops on your hook. Pull through only the first loop. Yarn over, pull through the first loop only again. Still 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, chain, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Use that loop you just pulled up to pull through the first loop. Yarn over, pull through the first loop. Yarn over, pull through both the last 2 loops. You'll notice that your stitches are starting to slant a little bit. And that's what you want to happen. They're not going to be perfectly straight up. They're going to be slanted. Go ahead and yarn over again. Insert into the next chain. Pull up a loop. 3 loops on the hook. Do not yarn over. Use that one that you just pulled up to pull through that first loop. Yarn over, pull through one, yarn over, pull through the second one. I'm going to repeat that all the way down to the end. Oh, see, I'm so used to doing double crochet, I almost did that. All right. Hey, we're human, right? Humans make errors. Nobody's perfect. There is no such perfect person. We may think we're perfect, but we're not. Okay. And I like to hold down that spot right here when I go through just the one loop, just to make sure that it's not going to fall off or anything like that. Okay. And as I was mentioning, today is my husband's birthday. We celebrated his birthday with his birthday dinner on Sunday because he does work. It's kind of hard to coordinate celebrating it during the week. I like when it's on the weekend, like probably most people, because it's easier to celebrate during the weekend, but we're having steaks, which he's cooking. He said he didn't care if he cooked on his birthday, and if you haven't seen my husband, he is in the snack videos we've done. We're trying to figure out how to do some more of those, because that's us spending some time together. Right now, while I'm doing this video, he's out on his motorcycle. I'm just hoping that it's not going to rain while he's out. It rained pretty good here. My nephew had to move his bed, just his mattress, to his office because he's got a window that likes to leak when it rains too much. But I will be really happy once August is over with. I could wish we could just skip it after his birthday, just let it fly right to September, because here in Texas, it gets dang on hot in August. August is our hottest month, and we were actually already seeing those temperatures before August got here. And we were in the triple digits for quite a few days. And I don't know if we're expected more rain today or not, but I just hope he has a good ride out today, because he only does this once a week with his bike right now. All right, I'm getting down to the last few stitches. Chains. They're chains right now. I'm working up the last few stitches. How about that? There we go. I don't know how to say it. My brain went blank there for a second. But yeah, so, and I'm sorry, right now I am working on a lot of stuff for the channel. I'm hoping that I have a video, not just the premiere video on Wednesday, but I have another one to give you guys for the morning time, but I won't know that till later. Okay, so the last stitch is a regular, it's just, we're doing just a, well, actually, I'm going to end the last stitch as a double crochet, not a herringbone, a double crochet. So we're just going to do a standard double crochet into this stitch, not a herringbone. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that will end row 1. Now, as I mentioned, this turning chain down here counts as your first double crochet. So when we go back through on row 2, we're going to want to make sure that we do not miss that stitch. Yeah. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. This is going to count as our first double crochet. So we're going to turn our work. We're going to skip the first stitch, and into the second one, we're going to put the first double crochet herringbone stitch. Herringbone double crochet, I'm not sure. It's worded differently by whoever does the tutorial, so we're going to skip this first stitch because this counts as your first double crochet. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Remember, we're not doing anything after that. No yarning over. Pull through the first loop. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2. If you want to make this a little closer with the chain 3, you can just chain 2 if you prefer. We're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch and do the same thing. Pull up a loop. Pull that loop through the first loop on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop only, yarn over, pull through both loops. And that's the repeat all the way down to the last herringbone stitch. So I'm going to keep going here. Okay, we got 3 in the loop, pull through the first one only, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next stitch. But I hope your week is going great so far. Tomorrow will be at least 1 video, possibly 2. It depends on if I can get what I'm working on done in time. I don't think I did that right because I was talking. Nope. Okay. So make sure you do the first loop twice and then do the yarn over pull through 2, because I was talking, I messed that up. So, all right, there we go. And again, your stitches will look slanted. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how this stitch looks. You can tell here, again, on the row 2, and how they slant a little bit to the left. If you're working this from the left to the right, then they're going to slant to the right for you. They'll slant the opposite direction you're working at. All right, there we go. I'm going to do this real slow and up close. So I just yarned over, inserting the hook into the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first one, yarn over, pull through the first one, yarn over, and pull through both. There we go. And yeah, I just hope that August just flies by. I prefer the cooler weather. I really do. I know I've talked about it before, but August, after my husband's birthday, I'm done with you, August. Come on, September. Although it's still pretty hot here in September, it does start to cool down, but not till it's getting closer to October. And then we really don't get winter weather until like December, January. Although this last winter we did get it pretty early, as compared to previous years of living in Texas. So I'm really hoping we get a good winter this year. Not where we have ice like last time. That was hot. That was not cool. Oops, I bumped my desk. I'm resituating myself here for a second. Okay. And this stitch is great for blankets. It's great for scarves, hats, anything you can think of, really. I might turn this into a washcloth. I don't know yet. I was just figured I'd use something totally different than just acrylic yarn for today's tutorial. If you've ever used this stitch, let me know in the comment section what you've used it for, what you made with it, what yarn you used. In some yarns, the stitch definition might not be as noticeable like it is with the Premier Basic yarn. This one I wouldn't. I mean, it does, let the pattern flow pretty good with the color changes, but I don't know, not every stitch is appropriate for all yarn. So, and I hope you saw the video that I did on Saturday, which was right before this video, getting it ready for today, was Premier's new monthly deals and the new extra deals that they got going on that's been added to their Fashion Plus and bag deals, because there's some interesting ones that are in there. If you haven't seen it, I'd suggest checking it out. I always have links to Premier in the description box below. If you've never tried their yarn, it's a great yarn, very affordable, in my opinion. Okay, so we're at our last herringbone stitch. So I'm going to just finish this one here. And now we need to get into that turning chain. So this was the first stitch from the row below. So that's 1, 2, and 3-ish right here. So I'm going to put a standard double crochet at the end of this row. It's going to start and end with a regular double crochet, and in between that will be the herringbone stitch. There we go. All right. And that will help keep your edges a little bit more even, because this does kind of bubble out a little bit. Now, I know that the previous row I did chain 3, but for this one, I do believe I'm going to just chain 2 for the turning, for the double crochet, because this gives it a little bit more, there's a lot more gape here. But I did learn something from Creative Grandma that I never even thought of, was if you do chain 3 and you want it to be a little bit more straighter, is to not go into the chain 3 when you come back to work this row for the next row, is to actually go into the chain 2 spot to make it a little bit more straighter, taller, something like that. All right, I'm going to chain 2 for this one. I'm going to turn my work. And again, we're going to skip this first stitch. We're going to go into the next one and do a herringbone double crochet. All right, so I've got my 3 loops on my hook. Pull through the first one, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And that gives it a little less spacing between this one and the next stitch. So if you prefer the chain 3, that is okay. Just make sure, if you're not used to locating that top of that chain 3, that you mark it with a stitch marker. so you do not miss that chain 3 or chain 2, because you can do either one. I'm not going to say yes, you have to do chain 3. No, you can do a chain 2 as well. And then you just repeat the pattern down the line for the next row. So it is just a 1-row repeat. You start and end with the row with a double crochet, whether that's a chain 3 or chain 2, or, and an actual double crochet going back to the end of it. So I'm going to finish working this one to show you how to find this one's turning chain for this row, or from the previous row. I try to make these tutorials short, but sometimes I feel like I need to show you the pattern a couple times. I never understood the herringbone stitch. I know I did. I have no idea how I did this stitch, but it was weird. I was working I was trying to work up a cardigan that Ginger has a pattern for, where you just crochet till you have it the width that you want for for the sides of your body. And she was teaching I think it was the half double herringbone stitch. I don't think it was the full double. I think it was the half double herringbone. And I didn't understand what she was talking about. I really didn't. I tried to watch her. I tried to play it kind of slower, and that just did not work out. I did something totally different, and I don't know. It could have been the half double, but to me, it was something totally different. And I never wrote down what I did to create what it turned out to be. But now, if you want to make this, if you're using cotton and want to make it into a washcloth, you just keep repeating the row 2 until you have it the size that you want. And if you wanted a perfect square, you fold one corner. If it will let me do this to show you, you fold it like this. And it will tell you, okay, so you've got these many more basically spaces to fill before it's a true corner. That's how I make my washcloths. I don't make them oblong or anything like that. I make them I try to make them true to square as I can. But I'm not going to show that right now with washcloth. I will, like I said, I will be coming out with some blanket patterns here in the next couple months. I am going to finish a blanket that I started, but I also want to show you guys what can happen if you use AI for creating patterns without testing them. Because I was basically doing this to test the pattern, and you'll see if I can get it finished in time to do it for tomorrow's video. I will show you what it turned out like. I was trying to do a corner-to-corner blanket, not using the traditional block where you do the chain 6 and double crochet into the 3 and all that. I wanted something different and new, unique. Well, you'll see what happened. You'll see. I'm at the last herringbone for the row. So 3. Here we go. And then we're going to do double crochet into the 3rd chain, the top of the chain 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And you want to go through, if you can, both loops. Because it's a chain, it's your, basically the top of your double crochet. Pull up a loop. And there is the end of the row. Now, if I would have done it through, I'll show you the difference. So that's through the top of the chain 3. Let me see, there it'll focus, okay? Now, I'm going to show you what it would look like if you did it through the chain 2 part. So that's yarn over, oops, yarn over. We're not going to go into the top one we just went into. We're going to go into the one right below it. Well, if my hook will get in, well, if my yarn will let my hook in, I will do that. There we go. Okay. So we're going into the chain 2 section of the chain 3. So the middle chain. Okay. And that's what it would look like if you used the chain 2 versus the chain 3. It does make it stand up a little bit. It does give it a little bit more, it does straighten this out quite a bit. And I'm just going to leave it there, because that's how I'm going to end this. But if you continue, just make it as big as you want. This might or might not be a yarn eater. I've not made a full project out of this stitch. I will be honest with you. I am doing these so you guys can learn these stitches to make your own unique patterns. When I do come up with my own pattern, I will do a tutorial on it. And then, yeah. So this is what it looks like up close. You can see the slanted stitches. And basically what it does is it makes it look like you have a bone in your pattern. Now, if I were to flip this over, the back side, this is the row that's on the back side and how it looks. So there is some texture to it. It's not, you know, if I would have done, I think, my turning chain down here into the second chain, it would have come out looking a little bit straighter. But that's what borders help with a lot of times, is helping it look a little bit more straight with certain stitches. So, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now see, this is the same. I chained up 25 on this one. But again, I was feeling with fingers and trying to really look for the end parts. So this is why this is all bumpy over here and over here. And it looks like I added some stitches. So again, human error. I'm not going to redo it. It's just to show you what this would look like if you worked it up in this stitch. And this is the icy path. So the silverish gray, this stuff right here is like the ice. That's what I think. And the rest of it's like steps, woods. I don't know what the cream color would be. But that's what it would look like in this one. So now you have an idea what the icy path would look like in the herringbone double crochet stitch. So again, if you've ever used this stitch, let me know. If you're gonna, if you enjoy my stitch tutorials, please let me know in the comment section or hit the like button. Again, each week is gonna be something different, something new, something maybe you've never heard of. So that is gonna be it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.